Yeah, g'day guys, how you going? I'm not actually sure what happened to the intro of this video, but here's the general gist of it. So, long story short, I rented a bike in Bali, and then I just picked a direction and went. Mostly because when I rented it, the bike didn't have a phone holder, so I don't really have a good way to look at my map as I was riding. And if you're in a new country or you're in an area that you don't really know, that's quite difficult. So pretty much the whole time I was just basically doing vibe-based navigation, and I don't know if it's because of foliage or just my phone behaving a bit weird, but constantly my navigation on Google Maps would just be messed up and just wouldn't even point me in the right direction, or thought I was in the street next over and shit like that constantly. So come along and watch me get really turned around. I don't know why I didn't think my seat will be this hot when I left the bike parked out in the sun. I think I'm meant to turn right and then left. It'll take me to the forest pretty much. Oh yeah. This is only slightly sketchy. I'm basically just relying on the guy in front of me to be confident, following him. I have no clue what I'm doing, as you can tell, because I'm head checking. Nobody head checks here. Nobody checks their mirrors either. I'm pretty sure they're just for decorations. I can't actually see anything through my mirrors. They're too narrow. Right, I don't know where I am. I think I did a big loop in the middle of a rice field, or rice fields. Kind of a neat location. Definitely not a part of Bali that most people would ever see. I just wish I could navigate to where I want to go. Gotta say, I am pretty impressed with this little scooter that I rented. I know it's the most advanced thing I've ever ridden. It has remote ignition. Well, okay, keyless ignition. Which my usual bike back home doesn't even have a fuel gauge. Yeah. More congestion. Every time I think I'm getting some open road, turn a corner, and then it's like, boom, congestione. What would you do without congestion? I don't know if I'm meant to be going this way, but this way seems more fun. So, you know. Surely the man in the red scooter wouldn't betray me. I don't know who he is, but it seems more inland. How many Ks do you think this bike's done right in front? God, it's actually so interesting just watching and looking at different bikes and sort of the condition they're in, and you know how many people are on it. I think the best I've seen is 5. Look like mom, dad, big sister, small sister, baby. Oh man, get some wind through my jacket. Woo. I think this might be the quietest place I've been in all of Bali. Literally the only thing I can hear is a cricket and water. It's quite nice. I think I really need to find some food though. Should have eaten breakfast before I left. Oh well, no point dwelling on the past. Well, I clearly made the wrong turn. I don't know where I'm going. So I guess there is no such thing as the right turn. And my phone's locked out. Alright, I just have to go up this road, not down that footpath, I hope. I feel like my phone's having a bit of a heat stroke. GPS isn't pointing me in the correct direction, I think. Supposedly there's some food up this way, so, you know, needs must. Well, it's definitely the loudest temple I've seen all day. Right, couldn't find the place I like. Got chocolate bread and tea, it will do. I actually just need sugar, I think. I'm really not doing anything special. Not going to any tourist, but I was just getting lost. It's pretty good fun. Alright. My butt's kind of getting sore. I haven't really done that much riding. It's slower speeds here, so it doesn't feel like you're going very far. I just like riding bikes, man. Being on 2 wheels. There's just a certain excitement about it. Well, stopped here for a bite to eat. I don't think they serve anything else. I just sat down and they gave me a plate. Probably should have figured out how much it would cost me because I'm kind of running low on funds, but this looks good. This is really good. There's a lot of flavors here. I think I've eaten here. Or I've really been craving pork because everything's chicken around here. My God, it's beautiful. Thank you. I think that's what I just ate, and was it damn good. So I stopped leaving my phone in the bike. don't know what the plan is. It's about 1 o'clock right now. I think it just turned 1 o'clock. I'm thinking I keep going. I'm feeling pretty worn out. It's already been a pretty long day of riding. Goodbye. Best pig I've ever eaten. It was the most succulent pig I've ever had to date. Also, I've been riding for like 4 hours. I filled this bike up like completely. It took 5 liters. I paid roughly $1 per liter, and the fuel gauge has not gone down a single bar. I miss having a scooter back home. You can run them on nothing. Well, unless you burn oil like this guy, you kind of need to pay for oil too. But man, that pig, that dish was 20,000. So that's roughly what, $2 and a bit for me. For $2, I don't know you could be that happy. It's the monkey forest on the left. I've spent all my money on food, so I can't really go into attractions. So to be honest, for what I spent on this bike, $120,000 plus another 50 on fuel. I'm getting my money's worth, that's for sure. And frankly, for me, this is the best attraction you can ever get. Hey, more rice fields. That's cool. I want to overtake this guy, but there's always traffic. And my sense of New Zealandness is making me not want to overtake him because it's so tight. And this bike doesn't quite have that woomph that I'm used to. Can you tell I've gotten chatty since eating? Full stomach. Nothing else makes a man so happy. And Christ, I hope you can hear me, because otherwise I'm just fucking nut job talking to himself in his helmet. I do that without a camera anyway, so like, not much of a difference there. There's a big cluster of temples here. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're temples, yeah. Finding aggressive leaning on this bike to be quite difficult. It's very sensitive, not used to such a small wheel and such a short bike. Not to mention, if I'm too aggressive with the bars, it just goes right into my knees. I'm finding that there's a lot more stuff in the air here, getting a lot more stuff in my eyes. I have no clue how people are riding without visors, or even without a helmet for that matter. So many of those upside down J looking things. I swear I paid attention at the museum. I just never learned what those things are called. I've seen them all over close to where I'm staying as well, but these ones are a lot more ornate. They're littered on the street like street lights. Obviously they're not street lights. but their frequency is actually more than streetlights. Nearly double the number of telephone poles even. Gotta find somewhere to stop real quick, because this seat might be the most uncomfortable two-wheel vehicle seat I've ever sat on. Like, 20 minutes it numbs your butt, like, so bad. I don't think you could make one this bad. Apparently you can. Thought I had it pretty bad with my DR seat back home, but apparently that one's the best seat I've ever seen. Oh my god. Is this seat made out of wood or something? There's foam there, supposedly. I don't believe it though. Holy, the most uncomfortable seat I've ever had the pleasure of sitting on. I have a quick water break. Figure out where the hell I am. I was thinking it's probably time for me to start turning around, or thinking about turning around. 1:30. Not too far from a big lake. So I'm gonna go check that out. Just keep going up and then turn left by the looks of it. I don't know what's there. There are some attractions close by, but I don't have the money for those attractions right now. Should have visited an ATM. It's so much nicer in the mountains. Oh. On the left there's that's a mosque. That's cool. But it's so much drier and cooler up in the mountains. Well, I don't know about cooler, but it's a bit drier. Oh man. Oh, I just noticed that this thing seems to have linked brakes. As in, if I apply rear brake, it applies front brake as well. That explains why the front brake feels like shit. Because by the time, I'm always rear braking first, then front braking, typically speaking. And so with the link brakes, what's happening is that as I'm braking, God, I hope I'm on the right path. Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, just follow this main road, I think. And by the time I've got my rear brakes, the front brake has already been applied, half of it. Hence why it feels absolutely terrible. Like there's nothing there, because it's already being applied. This is some New Zealand-esque roads. That parking is, well, it's something, all right. Like I'm doing some hardcore hill climbing. Holy! But hard time imagining some people on 50cc's would fare halfway decent on some of those hills. And I hope there's nobody coming the other way. Gee. And of course it started raining. Bali. I knew it was gonna rain at some point today. I just figured it would come a bit later. gotta say, this might be some of the most technical riding I've done in Bali. Well, actually, like ever. This is a very nice technical road. Actually, nice is not the right word for it. It's not very well paved and there's a lot of debris on the road. But man, it's a 90-degree corner, right-hand turn, straight into pretty much another sweeping corner into a left, and then another sweeping corner into the right. It's a pretty fun road, just sketchy as heck. And I hope to God I'm on the right path. It's doing this downhill would suck. It's a lot easier uphill. Yeah. Loose gravel, leaves, uneven pavement. Huh. I'm definitely somewhere with a lookout, maybe. Ho ho ho, yeah, buddy. That do be looking pretty nice. Not how much the 360 camera is gonna show, but boy, looks right out there into the fields, into the villages. That's pretty neat. I'll take some photos for my mates, my other rider mates, and figure out if I'm going the right way and get going. Yeah, so it turns out I'm really lost. I did not go down the right road. This is the more fun road, so I'm just gonna keep following it and then turn around, because I think the two roads meet up anyway. So technically I've gone down the right road. This might be the scariest road I've been on, in like a nice way. It's very technical, going downhill. It's incredibly steep. The brakes aren't really cut out for it. I don't have a clutch, so I can't slip that. There's obstructions everywhere, chickens everywhere. That was a bit of a good butt puckering experience. But now I'm somewhere that's really interesting. Oh, that's cool. Tiered rice paddies, I think. Awesome. I've turned around because it started raining. Luckily, it's not that I'm normally a fair weather only rider, but it's actually more so because, I don't know, it felt like the safe thing to do. And it's raining more towards where I was than it is where I am going back to. What's crazy though, So I don't know if you can see the steam coming off the pavement. It rained lightly, but now that sun's out, it's evaporating off the road like so fast. I guess there was probably a lot of heat in the earth already. Hopefully sun and the wind's enough to dry me off, or well, dry most of me off anyway. I did think I was getting way too lucky with the weather, so I guess it was a bit overdue. Oh, just way too hard trying to see past the trucks to overtake. Look at the guy in front of me. His poncho's just going wild. I can't believe he can ride like that. Because like you feel all of the fluttering about constantly. And good on him. Me, I can't even be bothered with this poncho that's not doing that. That's a pretty cool bridge. Does that help with my fear of heights? But the road back down to Legion, given that it's the main road that I'm taking this time instead of completely getting lost in the backwoods of Bali, it's quite well paved. The sketch factor has diminished by about 800%. Alright, since that was another major intersection, I better check that I'm on the right road. Not having a phone mount is quite detrimental here. Appears I am very much still on the correct road. Or not. I think I might actually be going... No, I've been following the wrong road for quite some time. Oh no, I gotta turn around, go back over the bridge. Holy. Here's hoping I'm not too lost. It looks like I need to actually go back over the bridge and then check my map again. Like hang a left or something. Okay, if I'm reading that right, I think I am. I just have to follow this road and then I should be alright. Okay, just saw a sign that says Denpasar. That's good news. Denpasar is in the direction of Legion. Well, Legion's past Denpasar, but it's in the general direction. Thank God. Alright. Okay. This surely has to be the right way because I was high up and sea level's lower. I appear to be going downhill. This is what happens when you use not Google Maps and completely vibe-based navigation, but I'll get there. I'll get back home. I desperately need a shower and some air conditioning. seems to continue to go downhill. And I want to get to sea level, because the sea is at sea level. This is a good sign. It's a very good sign. Okay. I just took a second to check if I was on the right path, because notice I was going uphill again. Apparently I am. I just have to make sure I go left. I'm sure if I say it out loud I'll remember it. Just have to go left here. See? Apparently I should have gone straight coming down that hill on the right previously, and then I wouldn't have been so turned around. This should be a straight shot, well, a pretty twisty shot to Denpasar, hopefully. Okay, that's good. I remember passing that mosque just after I had that pig. I think it's like not too far from here. I'm resisting all temptations to not go and eat the pig again. I am salivating at the thought. I'm not hungry, it was just that good. It's meant to be raining again at about another hour or so, and I don't want to be around for that. Tired and kind of sleepy, and the worst part is I'm nowhere near Legion and I still have to get through that traffic somehow. Good day guys, time for a quick debrief, eh? Man, after I got to sort of Kuta general area, I ran out of battery on my mic, so I didn't talk, obviously. I really didn't feel like sitting around waiting for it to charge. I was pretty tired twice because that's how tired I was. I just had a few points. I think today in total I traveled about 350-ish Ks. Probably a little closer to 400, I would imagine. I was out there from about 9 a.m.-ish. That's when I got my bike, to nearly 6. I got so lost. And I completely lost my sense of time as well. A sense of hunger apparently, because this is technically lunch. Unless you count me eating a sausage, which I don't. That's a pre-breakfast snack. Totally. The traffic is nuts. Even in the boonies, like, there's so much traffic. By traffic, I really just mean heavy vehicles in the countryside. Getting in and out of the Kuta area was so much more work than it really should be, given the distance. I mean, I kind of knew what I was getting into, but it was more than I expected. In terms of cost, my bike cost me 120,000. Burger's really nice, by the way. There's actual greens in here. And the guy toasted the bread for me. Probably another 50,000 on fuel, because it came mostly empty. So I filled it up completely, and I think I used most of it. Probably spent another 50,000 just here and there with that meal that I had with the pig's head, as well as just odd bits and bobs like water. I picked up, like, I probably picked up 3 bottles of water on the way. I think I must have made pretty much 98% wrong turns, because if I had navigation, like on the bike. I didn't have navigation on the bike. It would have been much quicker to get to the lakes and back. And in the end, actually, I didn't even get to the lakes. I'm kind of glad I gave up with not much to spare, because it was sundown by the time I got back to my accommodation. And I don't want to be riding here after sun goes down. It's already kind of sketchy enough as it is when there's sun and good visibility. So I gotta say, getting lost, I'm not complaining by any means, because I probably got to see parts of Bali that nobody else or most people wouldn't. And I got some really nice riding done. That did take me a while to figure out how to lean that scooter more, because it's just not the kind of bike I'm used to. Really all it ended up being was I would stop every 2-3 streets and then check my phone, manually, try and memorize what the directions are, and then go. And in the end it never worked out well. Or I guess it did work out well, because I did have a good day. You might be thinking to yourself that I'm a complete psychopath for wearing motorcycle gear in the Balinese heat. Well, my counterpoint to that is, you are just as vulnerable in Bali as you are back home. So if you are an avid rider, why would you put a helmet with no safety rating on your head and go down 50-70 k's an hour down the road and be willing to risk that? Personally, I did have a cutoff, which were the pants. My pants are not very well ventilated. I debated buying new ones before I came. These are kind of on their way out, so I figured, I'll wear these, and when I get back to New Zealand I'll buy a new pair. Turns out it's just too hot. So I left them in my accommodation. I'm kind of glad I did, because I spent most of the day with my shirt pretty much 98% soaked, and my jacket has a hell of a lot more ventilation than my pants do. But if I did go down, I'd be really, really, really happy I had an actual helmet on with an ECE rating, as well as jackets with CAA ratings on them. I've heard skin grafts are not very nice. Would I do it again? Would I go out there with absolutely zero plan and get completely lost in the back alleys of Bali? Absolutely. I love getting lost. You'll never find things that you are not looking for if you're actively not looking for things. I had a hell of a time. It did kind of get to a point where I had too much of a hell of a time, and I think I called it quits at the right time before I hurt myself. Thank you very much for tagging along. I hope you also had a hell of a time. Cheers, have a good one. Take care of yourselves.